Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Shadow, and now is episode 56. 56 weeks. You know what we could have done in 56 weeks instead of this podcast? We could have done something productive. But here we
Yeah,
are again.
I could have lost a ton of weight. I could have learned a new language. Dream, what could you have done?
Not associated with you guys.
That's probably the most productive thing you could have done with your life, Dream. Good. That's a good call.
Probably, yeah. Sad but true. Sad but true.
Well,
hey, do you know how much porn you could have watched in 56 weeks of recording a
the
podcast?
units that we have this week are actually Akstar and Cleome and Draconian Princess Fina. Or I think this is the last batch of duo units, tag chaining duo units rather. And then we're back to our regularly scheduled Final Fantasy instead of Brave Exvius, the game. Yeah,
And that should.
Regularly scheduled
I feel like-
individual units.
I feel like it's been forever
don't
since we
tag
got an actual Final Fantasy unit. Like from a Final Fantasy game and not Brave Exvius.
What do you mean? We've gotten a ton of Finas. Fina is a Final Fantasy unit.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
I mean, it's not a numbered Final Fantasy like, Type 0, but it's a Final Fantasy.
I guess. Other than
But
that,
yeah,
there's
it's
not much
been,
going
like,
on this week, right?
There's Boss Rush, I guess.
Yeah, and Boss Rush was fun.
Yeah, that's a surprising return.
Yeah, but I have a rant about Boss Rush, but let's save that for later. Let's talk about units first.
I guess we can talk about Akstar and Cleome because I think they're less interesting than our next unit. But let's talk about Akstar.
But
and
let's
Cleome.
really ramp into the interesting stuff by starting with the most boring part of them.
Okay.
Which
Okay,
is
and what
the
is it? The
thing
TMR and
that you guys
STMR?
always make fun of me for talking about.
Yeah, the TMR and STMR.
Yeah,
Don't forget
the
the
TM
card.
is actually fairly good for once. It's like a
Worse?
somewhat downgraded version of Sora's STMR. It only works with katanas, and it's not as strong, but 70% attack, 30% LB damage. That's really good for a TM.
Yeah, it's really good. I actually wish I just off-banner a copy of this unit so I can just get one of those TMRs. It's actually...
Well, I mean, it's AC Cloud's TMR with 10% more attack, but katana locked.
Yeah,
So
that's
we've
true.
had
Oh, wait, it's katana
similar-
locked. Oh, it's
Yeah.
katana locked. Ah, okay.
Well, the attack.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured. Yeah, okay. Then it's...
Yeah, it is. It's still good. It's just not like worth pulling for or anything. The STMR is it has 207 attack, which is I think the highest of any two-handed weapon.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
And then it has killers and human killer and LB damage. It still only has 30% variance, which is not great for TDH units, but the other stuff on it could make up for it. I haven't really checked stuff in the builder because
Yeah,
I don't
it
have it,
is-
and I don't care that much.
It is a pretty excellent TDH LB weapon, like for damage dealers that use that, especially if their gear selection is more limited. So it is really
Yeah.
strong.
I mean, obviously, if you can use bows, they probably prefer Furian's STMR, but without that, this might be better
Yeah.
than using Equip Bow and Furian's STMR. Or, if you don't have that.
I actually got a Furion recently. And
Oh, fuck you! I want one.
Yeah, I know. And I was actually really happy, not just for the STMR because the unit is cool, but I haven't STMR Moogled him yet. Like I don't know. I've become so cheap in this game lately.
Yeah,
Like-
wait, what? How is it that you still spend, Lapis on 500 Lapis pulls, but you won't STMR Moogle Furian? They're both bad decisions, but one of them is way worse than the other.
Yeah, well, okay, listen, maybe it's just me growing up because, you know what happened recently? I actually pulled Shui Yu. Yes?
Yes.
Sure.
No.
Um,
Okay, I'll continue.
I pulled her randomly, and then I realized I have enough VIP points to actually EX2 her. And I'm like, hey, I should do this. This feels like a smart decision. And I actually didn't. I didn't do it. You know what I did instead? I bought 80 shards, so I have 50 plus 30. And I maybe I'm growing up, guys. Maybe I'm actually,
Round of
maybe it's
applause
actually
for that.
happening.
Doubt.
Yeah.
What's interesting more about Akstar and Cleome? Tell us more interesting things about
Yeah,
them
they
instead
have
of
a
their
kit
team.
as well.
They do.
They have a card. We talked about the TM already.
Yeah, let Muspel continue with his bullshit, okay? We need to talk about the card first.
The card is fine. It's 80% attack with the katana, 50% TDH, a little lower flat attack than the previous cards. But
Yeah, but it's the same with all the tag
yeah.
units.
It reminds me of last gen's card, which was also like not
It's
necessarily best in slot, but still fairly good.
well,
That's kind of the TDH version of Last Gens.
if we're talking
Yeah.
about shit that doesn't matter, I want to add that I think Cleo Akstar should have been with Laswell instead of Laswell and Rockin. But yeah, let's continue
Well,
on.
this isn't that Akstar. This is the other one.
Well, this
Wait, which
Akstar.
one? Okay, there are too many fucking Akstars. Oh my fucking god. And there are too many Finas. Okay, which Akstar is this? Is this like actual Akstar or this Rain in Disguise Akstar?
I'm pretty sure this is actual Akstar from the
This is
South.
Akstar
Yeah,
Akstar.
it is.
He looks like
Yeah.
Awakened Dragon Akstar.
Yeah, but didn't Laswell teach him?
If you didn't skip the story cutscenes, you would know.
I have been skipping the story. Why does he know Cleome? And who is Cleome?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually the best question. There's this little girl. Did anyone notice there's this little girl together with Akstar that nobody knows who she is? No, but I honestly
Imagine
don't.
not skipping
I'm actually honest. I have no idea who she is.
I'm pretty
I've not
sure
seen
that this is part of the season 3 story where Fina is like having her own Sailor Moon squad and like Cleome's
Yes.
part of that Sailor Moon squad.
Cleome is
yeah,
one of,
she is.
One
I
of
just
Fina's Power Rangers.
I know
Okay.
I know that. I just don't know like who she is. How does she know Akstar? Why are they apparently close enough to be part of a duo unit? Is
Well,
she
the
like Akstar's daughter?
Description says that she's his apprentice, meaning that like Laswell taught Akstar, who then taught Cleo. There's this dynasty going on.
Basically, the different groups are starting to meet up, and like Cleo mastered Mirror of Equity in like a day because apparently just anyone can do that now. And so Akstar has to like,
hold on,
keep his word
Dream.
and teach her now.
But Dream, which mirror equity did she master though?
The basic one for now.
This is kind of like in Dragon Ball Z where it took like the original Dragon Ball, it took Goku forever to learn Kamehameha, but then like his kids learned it in like a day, and then Kamehameha is now used by literally every other character. So I feel like this is just anime power creep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like absolute mirror equity has lost its power. Now it's all about like raging roar of absolute mirror's equity's truth of the seventh seal.
But you gotta start with.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like
But also, speaking of their actual. Well, hold on. Just to connect these two things, I've just looked through all of their skills, and they have 0 Mirror of Equity skills.
This is genius. This is beautiful. Yeah, because their skills have weird musical names instead, and their cooldown is called. What the fuck is this cooldown? Fear Master? So it's half
probably
German, half English, means for master. It's like, what the fuck?
You could just say Fur Master, and that would make more sense.
Fur Master. Now I like what you're
Akstar
saying.
is a secret furry. That is what we.
So listen, Shadow, what's your persona? Hey, wait, I feel like I've asked you this before.
So they don't have any Mirror of Equity moves. That's right. So what are they?
100%
Tell us
a squirrel. 100% squirrel.
Tell us about their kit. What are they? Are they a finisher? Are they a chainer?
Yeah, they're basically a pure finisher. Like their chaining moves are, I mean, I guess all right, but you really want to focus on the finisher. And the main thing that sort of centers around is their pitch black performance cooldown and shift. And if we'd got an original Cleome and not skip past a whole bunch of content, we would sort of be familiar with this kind of setup of having this stacking cooldown buff that gives stronger mod boosts each turn to a finisher move. She can't, so that, like, the turn after the cooldown, the finisher is decently strong, and then the turn after that, it's very strong, because I think it's goes up to a 540 times modifier.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
And you can't.
Do they have a fucking instrument in peril? Why?
Yes. Because Cleome's a musician.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you get the hint from all the skill names, Muspel?
I assume that was like a metaphor for how swordplay is like a dance or music or whatever, that some things try to do sometimes.
Yeah. Well, usually it's actually a
from
dance.
The Kingdom of Symphonia.
Oh.
Hey,
take a hint.
Look.
Oh, wait. Was that like when I was skipping sequences, I fought this piano lady. Was that from that part of the story?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Now I kind of know maybe which of the map items I was clicking.
Guys.
Okay,
Nice.
I mean,
Uh,
I think we should rename Dream to Lore Master Dream instead of Math Dream because clearly Dream's the most interesting aspect of the game for Dream is the lore and
I
the
have to
story.
do both. I'm just the one who actually keeps things on track and informed.
Yeah, on track.
Because none
Yeah,
of you can do it,
like
apparently.
you've been doing a terrible job this episode, Dream. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I'll apologize for that.
Okay, so one thing that's interesting, and I think we should say it because people are kind of expecting all the tag units to be very similar. This is not really the last gen LB finisher, right? Because you're talking about you're stacking your mods on a ability that they have in their kit, and that's the one you finish with. Although they can also burst with their LB.
The LB finisher is sort of like their secondary burst. Ideally, if you can provide the support chains, they want to do both because they do still have like a pretty decent mod and a good LB buff for it. But yeah, the biggest burst should be using that stacked finisher with dual wield because you can't multicast it, but you can hit twice with dual wield, and that's just over 1,000 times mod total.
Holy shit.
Do they?
I mean, they're TDH native, so they don't have like 6 times cap or anything for it, but it's still very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, like, they clock in, if I'm looking at your sheet, I shouldn't be saying anything because it's your sheet, but they clock in at quite close to the same burst as Laswell and Reagan, really. Like, it's not far away.
They have less room for killers, if I'm correct, just because they don't have innate TTW. Like, you're gonna have to
Yeah, I think
compensate.
their
with
main
that.
problems revolve around gearing. Like, if they had a different set of passives that, like, supported dual wield or even better with a better weapon selection, I think they would see a lot of improvement.
Right.
But yeah, they have some gearing issues because of weapon selection and being TDH favored and stuff.
This might be
So
more
on a
common in
scale
the-
from Valkyrie Profile to Zenaida, where would you say they rank on the skip scale?
Huh. That's an interesting way to put it. Well, first of all, I would say this is an excellent off-banner pickup. Or just on-banner pickup too. Like, if you're doing dailies, you get this unit, you get a really fucking strong unit. There's nothing to be
They're
sad
one of
about.
those units that
Don't do
you
dailies.
don't chase, but can be reasonably happy to get randomly because they aren't bad.
I mean, I think you're underselling it a bit, to be honest. Reasonably happy. Like, if I was gonna, okay, I'm obviously
Well,
not
it
a
depends.
great.
Do you have like Laskin or Sora or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're
Like
not
the
gonna
only
be that-
3 units I would rank above this unit would be like last gen, maybe Riku. Yeah, Riku. Yeah, probably last gen, Riku, and Sora. Those 3 units
Hera?
are like okay, but
On
we're
the
talking about
physical
physical units.
Oh, okay.
So, like, or yeah, because it's really, really, really a strong unit, and I think this unit is gonna last for quite a while. And they still do have this gimmick that all tag units have, where they have one very specific killer they are really good against, and they also have the 70% buff versus broken enemies, which again is also a fantastic pickup to have because you're gonna want to have that for future trials. I don't know. I would not be sad if I got.
You're
this
mostly going to want it for Bahamut because, like, I still don't think JP's gotten any significant break bar trials since Bahamut.
No, but I mean,
Unfortunately,
70% is
compared
70%. Like, the creep
Yeah,
is not
yeah,
like
it still makes them a very effective Bahamut unit once the bug fix, which should be next week.
Yeah,
But
let's hope.
But yeah,
But you know,
they
like,
don't
we also
have, like,
waited a
the
while
same
for Dragon
killer
Quest buffs as well, so who knows?
But like this is a fix, and end of month is like the quality of life / bug fix app update week usually. So I'm expecting a lot of things from this next update. There's a decent chance I'll be let down, but oh well.
Hey, that's just another Tuesday for Dream. So
Alright,
it's okay.
do we want to move on
Yeah.
to the next unit?
Yeah, we can now move on to the better
Yeah,
unit of the week.
I heard from someone who was honestly pretty great that this unit is a light version of Terra.
Is this true? This sounds very intriguing. Dream, what is your take on this?
My take is that Draconian Fina is an excellent evoke chainer for sustained damage. I'll put it at that. I'll leave it at that.
And excellent.
You know what I think about that, Dream? I think you're a math slave and you don't know what you're talking about.
Numbers aren't how you figure out damage, you know.
That is
Mhm.
true. That is true.
Math
Also,
has,
wait.
Math has nothing to do with it.
And I have a very important question. Did you also
Feelings
multiply?
don't care about your facts.
But listen, did you multiply her damage by 4 since she's a finisher? Did you do this? Because like People often forget to do this, okay? And like, you need to do it.
None of us were expecting.
Alright, so imagine how like 80% of the listeners just have no fucking idea what we're talking about right now.
She is a sustained damage trial unit, because she is in her shift form for 4 out of 6 turns, and basically one of those will be weaker, buffing up, but still like decent, and then she can have 3 strong chaining turns with either her quadcast or her LB.
Yeah.
Because her LB is like only a little bit stronger than her quadcast usually.
Yeah, unlike Terra, Fina's LB actually chains, so you don't need external chains for that.
Yeah, her LB is like triple cast Chaos Wave Awakened, and unfortunately she's one of the only mages whose regular skills aren't Chaos Wave Awakened. Those are Bolting
Is she
Strike.
Chaos Wave?
No,
No,
her
she's
regular
Bolting.
skill is Bolting Strike.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she still is really strong for the boss rush.
Yeah, she's still pretty good for it because, I mean, some of them are single target, but also her LB is AoE, so you can kind of fill and use that a bit.
She has AoE moves in her base form, which are light and dark, which can handle like moon and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
but anything, like a
true.
wet
Like-
fart can handle moon.
Yeah. And I mean, her base form is a lot weaker, but, like, because it's still got pretty good mod boosts on her alt skills, so, like, if you do the setup and stuff, her light and dark mega flare skills do actually have, like, a pretty impressive mod.
No, really impressive mod. I mean, it's
So you can get some good
I'm actually
turns.
sad I don't have another like 2 copies of her. I only have one, like literally one 5-star copy of her, and I really want at least
Same.
one more so that I can just
I only have a 7-star.
Yeah, I only have 2 myself. I would like to have more. It's such a shame. I'm
I have 5, but that's not enough to get the EX plus 1, which is where most of the power is. So
yeah.
Yeah, but you're close enough to where it's worth
Yeah.
worth using resources to get to EX1.
well, it
Yeah.
would be if I cared about using her for anything, but there's no fight where I would prefer her over anybody else aside from
Yeah,
Dark Visions,
but
which
the-
I no longer care about.
Low key though, I you know how people used to hate on these like Esper units, but like their Brave Shift form, when they combine with their Espers, I think
Yeah,
they're amazing.
they finally
Yeah,
fixed
Hazard.
the sprite issue.
Wait.
Come
I
back,
haven't
Dad.
actually looked at her. Holy shit! I haven't looked at her Brave Shift. What is it? Oh, well, yeah. Shit. This is okay
Barrett
now.
has an
So
awakening.
I need to check how many DP Finas I have. So and see how many.
You're not
resources I
allowed
need.
to call her that, Barros. We talked about this.
So would she be like DP Fina because she's the one that DPs,
All right,
or
so
she's the
the
one
other
that
thing we got
gets?
this
I'm
week
just gonna.
is Boss Rush.
Because if you look really closely at her Brave Shift sprite, you see that she
Barris.
has a twin-pronged
Nope.
thing. Huh?
All right, so
Huh?
Boss Rush
Huh?
has.
I think Dream has
Okay.
something to add before we go on to Boss Rush. Did you?
Did I?
I thought you did.
No, I was just trying to get Barris to shut up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Boss Rush. Yeah, Boss Rush was this week. We thought it'd never come back, but here we are with the box summons and everything.
Quite nice.
And it even actually got some like stat buffs to not fall over quite so easily.
I don't remember the old Boss Rush that well, but this one has some non-trial bosses. Did the old one do that too?
Yeah, on the easier difficulties, that's the same as
Okay.
the previous one.
I guess the easier difficulties died so fast last time that I forgot all about them.
So I
mean,
promise.
it's the same this way. Like, beginner is completely trivial.
I honestly just thought it was a hassle. Because, like, the way mechanics work in this game is that you need to know the boss's AI and moveset and all the intricacies to beat the trial competently, right? But now you kind of have to do that for 5 trials. And that was just annoying. I'm sorry, I just thought it was annoying. I was just looking for the easiest way out. I found it, I got enough, and I'm out.
I mean,
I don't know. Change my mind.
for that sort of mentality, I think if you had a Selena, like she was perfect for it because she could literally take her to all of the stages and it worked. And you also need
Yeah,
to
I
only clear
used
up to
3
like
Selenas. That's what I did.
you only need to go up to 3 out of 5 to get I think all rewards, right? Or was it 4 out of 5 of
Yeah, 3 out of
elite?
5. 3 out
Three
of 5.
out of five gets
Yeah,
all of them.
so like you don't even need to do the hard one. The hardest one is definitely Tiamat. So
Yeah, I just couldn't. I just couldn't make myself do it and think about how to build my team for 5 different bosses. It was just a hassle. I just no, no, no. And I don't remember these bosses. I don't remember their fucking thresholds. I don't remember their attacks and or their patterns. And I don't want to read the wiki for 30 minutes again, okay? I mean, I love the wiki. No offense, Fencer, but yeah, old bosses. Meh, not doing it.
I mean, for me, it's kind of the other way. Like maybe this is sort of nullified a bit by like the amount of stat buffs they have gotten, but because these trials are kind of been power crept, I found it was something that I could sort of go into with a general team, like a more general team, and not really do research and just kind of it was at a level of difficulty where I can actually go in basically blind
yeah,
and have a chance and not just have to do like lots of research. It's a content that I can be a bit more experimental on and still like have that be a challenge.
100% agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw it as a chore. I mean, I hear what you're
I,
saying.
I think you're
It
really
makes sense.
overestimating the difficulty, Barrows. It's not that hard. You don't need
No,
to
I
think
know, I
too
know. I
much
mean,
about it.
I blazed through it with Selena's, but I did try it. Like I was building this run with Eldrin. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try Eldrin because I had the same mentality like Dream had. Like I'm gonna bring 2 Eldrins and I'm gonna do this. And then like I don't remember what happened. I think it was on Marlboro Queen. I did something and then she just wiped my team. And I don't know what happened. I mean, probably like some combination of thresholds or me using the wrong element or doing some stupid shit. I don't know. But it just happened. And yeah, that's like fuck that. I don't want to read AI. And I had, I had Mirage, I had breaks, I had of course buffs and resistances even up and shit. But, and
Um,
that's when I felt like
I
not
think-
worth it.
I would say maybe this set of bosses is like a little too specific on what damage types you need.
Yeah, and elements
Like
too.
it's-
It's actually really sucky element selection.
I was including that in
Uh-huh.
in sort of that because like for advance you need basically AOE, and if you want to hit them all with the same element, light, and there's pretty limited options for that now that we're sort of in the era, and like some of them need magic as well, namely moon.
Yeah, and like Antonella, you'd want, I guess, magic there as well for the early turns and shit like
Yeah,
that.
if you don't want to wait till after turn 4.
Yeah, so it's kind of that's I guess maybe that's the biggest annoyance for me really because I had like several runs just ruined by me realizing, oh shit, okay, this is my own fault. I should have looked like the first thing I should have looked at is just like what all the bosses are immune to, but I didn't. I just went in blind, and then I was like, oh, I do 0 damage to this. Aha, nice.
Yeah, I think looking up the immunities is like a good sort of place to start, even if you do want to do it without looking up actual like AI and defensive
Yeah.
stuff.
If you just look at when you go into the game, there's like a strategy like question mark Moogle. That alone, I think, usually just tells you a good hint of what it might be, and that's all I looked at before going into anything. So I think that's just a good general place to look at for if you don't want to go into the wiki,
I think for this
which I
because
didn't
it's
want.
like a load of different bosses. I haven't actually checked the strategy Moogle for like these ones, but I'm not sure if it would really reveal that because there's so many different fights.
Well, the strategy Moogle actually revealed per fight. Like the last boss per fight it's the only thing that the strategy Moogle revealed. So if it was one
Oh,
out
I
of
see.
5, it was just that
does.
boss, and 2 out of
That
5.
makes sense.
So
Okay, that's neat.
I
But
found
yeah,
that
and also
useful
just
enough to ignore the wiki completely and clear everything. So
And I mean, just speaking of like damage types and elements, like if you want to clear intermediate easily, bring ice physical and magic or ice hybrid, and everything should fall over pretty easily. Because a lot of those are like either like immune to most elements or like have really high either defense or spirit. So if you just have ice and both damage types, then you can blast through that pretty easily and get a
Yeah,
bunch of tickets.
I think that a single Eldrin actually killed every boss on that, if I'm not wrong. I don't think I chained a single time.
Yeah, I think I had, like, Terra doing her base form ice moves, which are really weak, and, like, Laskin using his ice attacks with no Imperial and no chaining, and that's...
Yeah, well, Eldrin does have 130% Imperil though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good unit, Eldrin. Such a good unit. I say that too little. Such a good unit.
Oh.
Anyway, what the fuck?
So that's boss rush.
Yeah, that's boss rush. And
Content variety.
content variety, yeah.
So is there anything in this game that we're looking forward to? I guess the only thing that's happening in the next probably few weeks is shield buffs. And they do look significant for a certain.
No, I think one
yeah.
big thing that's happening is the whole fucking mod or chain mod boost thing that's coming up with probably the next banner, which should be lightning.
I mean, okay, so here's
Yeah.
the thing about lightning though.
We'll
It's
probably discuss that as part
Okay,
of
yeah,
the
but
link.
let's not talk about that now and burn content, right? Let's
I
talk
think
about
it's
more
way
important
up.
stuff. Like, why is DP Fina's bow twin-pronged? I know, you
No.
all know, but we're just not saying it. We're all thinking it.
How about we explain that Neptune's man joke from earlier?
Why?
instead
Why
of
would we
talking
do
So
that?
about
boss
this?
rush actually gives some pretty good gear.
What? What?
Because the red and black battle dress plus is like STMR quality.
What are we talking? What
And then
happened?
Dragon's Brush has very handy like auto buffs and stuff with filling LB and like free attack buffs that you can reapply with shifting and stuff.
What are you talking about,
And
Dream?
the
items from the boss rush.
boss rush rewards
There are rewards?
anything to stop you. Yeah, there's some gear from it.
Really?
Yeah, on the like easier stages.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
There's an instrument that actually has decent attack.
So
Hit
Dream,
people with
hold
hammer
on. How does this connect to DP Fina's pegging kink?
So, Dragon's Brush is an accessory that's sort of like the materia from Coeurl, where it fills your LB gauge by 7 at the start of the fight. So you can use that along with the Coeurl materia and get 14 at the start, which is pretty good if you have an LB that you need filled right away. That usually won't fill an LB on its own, but...
You give that to 3-star Barts, and you can entrust someone turn 1.
Yeah, but you might as well just use Warrior of Light Barts for that.
Yeah, but I don't have Warrior. I have 3-star Barts. I actually have Warrior Light Barts. But yeah.
And then, like Dream was saying, red and black battle dress is clothes with 45 flat attack and 50% attack while using a katana, which is very strong for a free item.
I didn't even look at these. Shit, I was like, I had no idea this existed. That's actually pretty good.
And then, yeah, we have a harp with 151 attack.
Harps are now meta since there's also a harp in peril, or instrument in peril.
Well, they also have 1.5x variants, so...
Hey, hold on. We have not talked about something really, really important. What's the nickname for Akstar and Cleo?
Cleostar.
Cleostar.
Cleostar. That doesn't make sense.
It's better than a clone.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Akstar's name comes first. We talked about this last time where we had last gen, right? So Cleostar makes no sense. This should be like, yeah. What did you say,
well,
Muscle?
sometimes Gumi is wrong when they put units' names in order, and we have to save them from themselves.
Sometimes. You mean more like all the time.
I mean, it should be Axme. That's actually funny.
But you don't pronounce it me. It's
Yeah, but
Cleome,
I would-
not Cleome.
Sure.
We've been over this before.
Hey, last
Fine.
gen was completely different. That's reasonable.
Last gen's reasonable.
No.
Deja vu, motherfucker.
Muscle, you're on my side without even realizing
Yeah.
it. You know I'm right.
Hey, what's
Deep in
that
your
quote
heart.
about, like, you either die a hero,
hero.
or
Well,
you...
the difference here's the difference. The difference is last gen annoys Dream, and Cleostar annoys Barrows. So
No,
I just have to spread it around.
Axme.
Nope.
Axme.
You need to ask me a question.
Or, like,
Fucking you,
axe me
Dream.
in the head.
Fuck you, Dream.
Yeah. All right.
Someone had to do it.
And that someone had to be you, I guess.
So-
I need to make Barris realize his mistakes.
I also feel like we're really out of fucking content. We're grasping at straws. We're, like, fondling the...
Well, it was a bit of a light week.
Well, I was going to say something
Anyway.
about a ball sack, and now you interrupted me, Dream. This is so rude.
We're going to end the episode here.
I think this
Yeah,
this is a short episode just because Gumi made it a short episode. Like, there's literally nothing else to talk about. Item World was for 3 weeks, I guess. That's a different thing.
Oh yeah, we're steadily moving towards permanent item world.
Once
Uh,
once we get to like 4 weeks Item World, we don't have to run it every time like a religious fanatic.
I just want it to be faster.
Yes, Muspel. I also wanted to have like an auto skip mode. Give us item world tickets or some shit and let us just skip that shit.
That's actually true. Like, other gacha games have skip mechanics, right? Like skip tickets to skip the thing if you've already cleared it once. Why can't they just do that in Item World? Item World's one of those like such a
It takes
chore
so
activity.
damn long to clear all your
Okay,
orbs.
but they cost 100 lapis each.
Oh,
Is this some monkey's
No.
paw shit? 'Cause this is where
It's
like
like-
I mean, I only do an item world run when I need to like actually put something on a new weapon.
dudes,
there
I think
is-
this is the end of the episodes.
no, but wait,
Episode.
there is an
No,
argument
no,
to be
no, no,
made
no.
that
Shadow. This is the end of the episode.
you don't need
Right here.
to run
No, it's
Item
right
World
here.
anymore on
Here.
certain items because in bulk really doesn't matter anymore, and that was the biggest reason we ran Item World on our weapons, I think. So,
Now we run
more
item
attack.
world to fit more killers, you pleb. Which is exactly what I said we were gonna use item world for back in the day. But then Muspel was like, "Oh my god, but your units need to be bulky." Yeah, who's laughing now, motherfucker? I am. I have more killers on my units.